All aboard!
Well, hello and welcome to the Rail Rangers Facebook page. I'm Midwest Rail Rangers President Robert Taburn. And as you might know, in our series here this summer and into the fall, we're not able to do our regular programs on things such as the South Shore and at the Wisconsin Great Northern due to the virus. But we will be bringing you special short 15-20 minute shows a couple times a month. We call them our virtual education programs, and this is one of the first programs that we're doing for you. We are here at the Midwest Rail Rangers at the Midwest Central Railroad. No relation between the Midwest Rail Rangers and the Midwest Central Railroad, except they were nice enough to take us on a little tour of their steam shop. A lot of people don't know that there is a steam shop here in Mount Pleasant, Iowa. Mount Pleasant, yes, being a stop on the California Zephyr, if you've ever been through. And our special guest today is Matt. He is the president of the Midwest Central Railroad. And we're about ready to meet Matt and head into the shops.
This is the D9 project. It was the Carbon Limestone Company's diesel locomotive number 9. It was lettered D9. We have it and also the D14. We're currently, the guys are in the process of going through it. We got the torque converter drive all rebuilt and trying to get it up and running. So.
Where would this have originally run, or what area of the country?
Off the top of my head, I don't remember.
That's all right. Is it generally more out east or out west?
It was out east. I want to say Pennsylvania, but don't quote me on that because I don't remember for sure off the top of my head.
And has this been here for a while being worked on? Or
we acquired these two engines sometime in the 90s.
Okay.
I don't remember the exact year. Back then, I was off playing Army occasionally, so these came in while I was off somewhere with the military. So I don't remember the exact dates of when they showed.
And then your operations here, I was kind of surprised that the Midwest Central Railroad is. You said it's all volunteer. All volunteer.
Except for me, I'm around during the week.
So volunteers come and they're going to end up doing all the work on this beautiful.
It's been an all volunteer-led project.
Okay.
For the most part.
Is it mostly older folks, or do you kind of have younger folks learning from the
volunteers of all ages?
Okay.
And we've got a great group of young kids that have gotten involved. They almost wear some of us old guys out sometimes because they got too much energy. But they're a great group, and they've kind of taken this on, and we're letting them spearhead with it and supporting them along the way, but trying to let them kind of make the decisions of what they want to do with the project. And
so it's kind of a new generation learning from the old generation, which is kind of cool. That you don't want their skills to pass on when they do. Mm-hmm. I think that's important that they.
And I'm a firm believer in not micromanaging.
Okay.
So if they need something, I offer assistance, but like I say, it's a volunteer-led project, and they've got a great team working on it. So.
Perfect. Well, let's take a look at the a little bit more complete here. We have the number 9. So what do you know about this?
This is the West Side Lumber number 9. It came here in 1966.
Okay.
Of course, West Side shut down in 1960.
And they were, for people who don't know, where were they?
Tuolumne, California.
Okay.
And this engine was built in April of 1923.
Wow.
Actually, when it was originally ordered, it was lettered for Hetch Hetchy and Yosemite Mountain Valley Railroad. But it was always on the west side.
So these are always spots up in the Sierra that are really, really steep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that being we're back here at the back, there's a kind of an interesting little anomaly on the back of this thing, and I don't know if we can see it with the lighting.
All right.
You can really see it outside with the sunlight. But right here, you'll see the West Side Shop Foreman's initials, Ed Sullivan. It's actually upside down, done in script with a grinder.
Okay.
It's something we discovered in, I think it was 94 94-ish, 93-ish, we redid the tender, and it actually still had the original West Side lettering underneath the paint and everything on it.
Wow.
So we did a bunch of work to it, put new deck under it, and when we sandblasted it, we discovered those initials ground in there. It was just kind of a cool little thing.
Very cool. Well, let's take a look around here, and you want to go around this? We'll go around this side here and see the beautiful job you've done.
And the lettering was, like I said, we were lucky that the original lettering was still under the paint, so we very carefully peeled down to it and did a rubbing of the original lettering to reproduce it as best as possible.
Wow.
And same way with the coloring, is we got paint chips from the original paint chips underneath it.
Okay.
Now it was in different colors. You know, at one point it was orange, and then several different shades of yellow. And
so you're just kind of peeling that all back as you
get
down.
It was whatever paint they had on the shelf that day when they lettered it, I think is what they did.
Nice. So how long has this been? How long have the volunteers been working on number 9 here?
Well, the number 9's, like I said, it's been here since 1966. Now, in 2011, we did enter into a contract with the Georgetown Loop, and it went out to the Georgetown, Colorado, there for, what was it, around 7-8 years.
Okay.
Helping them out there when they were doing their power struggle.
Yeah.
And but she came back last summer, and we're doing some work on the driveline, and they did a lot of work on the boiler and other components of it. So
will it end up going back out there, or are we not sure? No, so it's going to stay here.
Home for good.
Okay. Now, to get it back and forth, you do that on trucks, right? For
Correct.
people who don't know, you don't actually transport this on.
Great big trailer.
Okay.
Lots of wheels on the ground. I think, if I recall, there was 10 axles
Wow.
on the ground with the trailer. I'd have to look at the pictures again and count them for sure, but there's a lot of rubber on the ground.
Is it how much work does it need? A lot of work to run again, or is it active, or what's
It's
kind
active.
of? Oh, it is.
It's runnable. Well, like I say, we're doing driveline work to it right now. It ran out there in the mountains again, so there was some wear on it, and we're addressing that right now. And with the lovely COVID, I don't know. It's hard to say if it'll run this year or not, but
yeah,
we'll find out, and we'll go from there. But
nice. Do you want to work our way over here to?
Wherever you want to go.
Well, let's go.
You're the man with the camera.
Okay, let's go over here and learn about, what do we have? A number 6 over here from Burnham Willis Company, Baldwin Locomotive. So this one's 1891.
1891. It was originally built for the Surrey, Sussex, and Southampton.
Okay.
Which was 3 counties in southern Virginia.
Okay.
I don't remember off the top of my head the exact year that the Surrey shut down, but then this engine was purchased by the Argent Lumber Company out of Hardyville, South Carolina.
Okay.
And then ran there at Argent until we acquired the engine in 1960. This was the first engine of the Midwest Central
Beautiful.
to operate here.
Okay. Is this operable too, or?
Yep, it's up and running. And of course, we're doing yearly. We do maintenance to everything, so it's got pieces and parts tore apart. Where it's
give everybody. We'll give everybody a look over here.
They were junk when they were new, but they're great.
There's your rebuilt. Name Maria, was that for somebody? Do you know was that a history?
The story I've heard about that, I think if I recall, it's addressed in the book.
Can't
think of the name of the book off the top of my head. The company.
Okay.
It had to do with a cook, one of the cooks there at the Surrey. It's the story I've always heard.
Maybe his wife made him name it after him. Maybe he spent more time with the locomotive than his wife. Decided to give it a name. I don't know.
Who knows?
All right. And do they operate today? I'm not familiar. Probably not. Long gone.
Long gone.
Okay.
Here, we try to, when we restore our engines and stuff, we've made a conscious effort to try to make them back to as original as possible to their original roads.
Okay.
And I say as original as practically possible, I guess.
Yeah.
Is the word for it.
So we'll take a walk around here. And what is, for folks who don't know, what is...
That's one of the drive shafts off the Shay.
Okay.
And they're doing bearing work to it.
How many people do you have? I mean, I'd imagine with volunteers, it kind of flexes.
We've got a core group of probably 15, 20 people that are here regularly on volunteer work weekends.
Okay.
And some very good, talented individuals. And we're very blessed to have some great talent for volunteers.
Do people come out like the whole time? I mean, the whole week, so they could maybe use some of the vacation time to come in here and help you out.
Typically, on the regular work weekends, some will start showing up on Friday afternoon. They work through Saturday and partway into Sunday, and then go home.
Okay.
It's 1 weekend a month.
Okay.
And then there's other people who are retired, semi-retired, that will come in during the week occasionally. So it's, it's kind of whatever works into people's schedule.
Are you guys looking for more volunteers now, or not?
Who isn't looking
Oh, you
for
are?
more
Okay.
volunteers?
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll, at the end of our video, we'll throw up contact information if anybody watching this, because we got a couple thousand people on our Facebook who enjoy watching our videos this summer when we're not able to be on the train with you this summer doing our narration. We'll put up the contact information if you happen to be in the area of southeast Iowa. Check it out. What do we have? What do we have going on here? Where are those wheels from?
Well, this is our engine number 2, originally built for the New Berlin and Winfield in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And then went to the Argent Lumber Company and became the Argent Lumber Company number 2. This engine was purchased at the same time with the engine number 6. Ran from, well, we discovered some slides. They test fired it in '68, and then ran from '73 to, I want to say it was '86, and then in '87 it was declared dead with boiler issues, and she was quite worn out. Which ironically was the first year that the 6 was back up in operation after a long overhaul with new boiler and everything. So it's in the process of being rebuilt. It's a small engine, and the project leader is really into research, and he's done an excellent job of researching this engine inside and out. So our goal with this one is to really take it back to what did it look like when it fell out of the Baldwin Locomotive Works in 1906. So
you have the blueprints and all that? Did you come across? Did they come?
They went down to the Goyle Library and researched and found a lot of the original drawings for it. So yeah, that's what they're in the process of doing. And once again, it's a great team that's working on it.
So do people
It's a slow project. It's one of those back burner projects. We work on it as time and money allows, but if there's other things that are more pressing comes up, it gets worked on. So it's kind of one of those, we work on it. And before the COVID started, the gentleman that's the project lead had actually started a separate work weekend each month just to focus on this.
Okay. Well, it's nice the hands off and you give people the chance to kind of what they're interested in and able to do. That's interesting to do that. So, well, around here, so we have 3 more, I think, back around here. Am I right? 3?
I guess.
Yeah. Let's head back around. There's the 6, which we just heard about, and the number 9 over here, and we'll cross back over to this end of the shop, and we'll see what we have over here. I guess we'll just start here. The Frederick Snare Corporation, Contracting Engineers.
This was built for the Frederick Snare Corporation. Was a huge contractor based out of New York, and they got the contract to build the Tiger. I'm going to pronounce this wrong, but Tigard River Dam.
Oh.
And that dam was built to supply hydroelectric power to the city of Philadelphia.
Okay.
They ordered 5 of these engines, all built the same, and they ran concrete and stuff from the batch plant out and different supplies out to the building of the dam. Once the dam was completed, all 5 engines ended up in a scrapyard in Philadelphia.
Wow.
And amazingly, 2 survived.
Okay.
We managed to buy both of them. I want to say it was sometime around 1964-ish, 1965-ish. It's about the same time the Shade came in.
Okay.
And engine number 2 and engine number 5 survived. The number 5 was sold to the Yosemite Mountain Valley Railroad.
Oh, okay.
And it's still out there. Now, a couple of years ago, we went through, the engine was real tired, the transmission was real tired, and I found a U.S. government rebuilt engine like was in it from World War II. It had been repowered to a Hercules RXC. Originally it had a Hercules YRC. And so anyway, I found an engine that was rebuilt in 1963, I believe it was, by the government in Japan. Still in the crate.
Wow.
So we repowered it and completely repainted it, took it back to its original scheme, original lettering, which was a challenge because that's an odd font that's not available. But one of our volunteers has connections with sign people, and they managed to reproduce it, and so it was lettered correctly.
Wow.
Kind of a fun little engine to run.
All right. We'll see what's behind here as we keep moving along. I'm sure there's a lot of stories to tell behind these, but we always try to keep these relatively short. This is number 1?
Lumber Company number 1.
Ah.
It was the only engine I actually originally bought new for the Argent, from my understanding. Mm-hmm. It's a Porter. And we just acquired this last year.
Oh, wow.
After the Argent shut down, it went down to Pensacola, Florida area, and ran in a theme park until 85, I think it was.
Wow.
And then was sold to a gentleman up at Warrior, Alabama, a coal baron, and he had plans of building a railroad around his estate. Huge estate.
That'd be fun. One day when I win the lotto. I don't know about you.
And he passed away a few years ago. And then early, well, it'd been the summer before last, late in the summer, I got a phone call, a tip that it was for sale. And the gentleman that called me said, you know, you've got 2 other Argent engines, you surely need a third. So we went down and looked at it and worked a deal, and we got it. It is going to require a new boiler. Okay. This one has some issues, but it's also a lap seam boiler. So right now we're in the process of just beginning to evaluate these 2 engines to try to decide which one is going to be the first on the block for restoration.
Okay. Any rough estimate on how long it might take to restore?
Sometime between now and when it's done.
There you go. You are 100% accurate when you say that, you know. I'm going to look at the backside there and all your massive parts.
It amazed me that from running in a theme park, it still had its original steam jam brake.
Really? All right, and last but not least, what do we have back here?
This is a Baldwin. Came out of Mexico, ran on the, and I'm going to probably pronounce this wrong too.
All right.
The Kahulua and Zacatecas
Oh, well, that's better than I could. That's better than I'd probably.
Way I've been told it was pronounced. Anyway.
Okay, all right.
This was their engine number 1, and we're, like I say, we're in the process of evaluating these 2 engines to see which one is going to be next on the rebuild roster.
Okay.
Much larger engine. It'd be a great engine for our operation because it'd have all the power we'd ever need. But we don't know yet. We just started making the grid pattern on the boiler, so I can't say is it going to have a new boiler or not have a new. I don't know. So
okay. Yeah.
We'll know more as evaluation gets done and we get deeper into the project.
Nice. And
after it left Mexico, it ended up outside a restaurant somewhere in California. I can't tell you exactly where.
Sure.
And then we acquired it in the early 90s. Once again, it showed up while I was off playing Army.
Okay.
And so I can't tell you the exact date of when it showed up here, but the undercarriage, we've kind of really inspected it. It appears to be in very good condition, actually. So it's really coming down to what's the condition of the boiler, what's it going to take to fix it. And then, of course, you see the rust on the cab and everything else. So
yeah,
there'll be plenty of work to do to it.
Oh, it looks like you had one more back here.
Yeah.
One more engine back here.
That's the same one we started with.
Oh.
That's the D9.
Oh, we walked around. Okay.
We're just on the other side.
There you go. All right. Well, Matt, I appreciate your time and for joining us with the Midwest Rail Rangers at the Midwest Central Railroad here in beautiful Mount Pleasant, Iowa. And come out and check them out. Maybe volunteer if you have some skills that they could use. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon.